The Healthcare Security Cast is sponsored by 3D Network Technology. Reliability is our core value. Visit www.3dnetworktechnology.com. And by Genetec, delivering security strategies for healthcare. Visit Genetec, that's GENETEC.com. And by the Change Execution Group. Visit 360lifetransformations.com. Before we get into today's show, I want to invite you to connect with the Healthcare Security Cast on a new platform. It's a text-based platform called Community. To join, all you have to do is text my community number, and that number is 647-372-2042. That number again is 647-372-2042.
Welcome to the Healthcare Security Cast, the podcast dedicated to healthcare security, safety, and emergency management. If you are involved with a healthcare security program or desire to be, this podcast is for you. Join the conversation as we discuss the issues that matter to healthcare security professionals while leveraging the expertise of healthcare security thought leaders and experts in personal development. And now, here's your host, Brian Hamilton.
Welcome to the Healthcare Security Cast for Monday, October the 12th. And to my fellow Canadians, happy Thanksgiving. One thing that I'm especially thankful for is all the efforts of our frontline healthcare workers. And this week, we're taking the opportunity to celebrate the security members of that frontline healthcare workforce. We'll continue with the second day of recognizing our healthcare security heroes. Hopefully you had the opportunity to listen to the first day of our recognition. And if you are interested in taking part, send me a text at 647-372-2042. That's 647-372-2042. And we'll make sure to get you on an episode this week while we recognize our frontline security heroes. We'll continue to share stories of some individual contributors, as well as some developments within different teams, and continue to share team recognition as well. Feel free to take part. That number again is 647-372-2042, 647-372-2042. And this is just another way to show your team how much you appreciate them. Before we get into today's recognition, we're joined again by Canada's recognition expert, Sarah McVanel, and she'll share her second Healthcare Security and Safety Week tip of the day. Now I'll turn it over to Sarah.
This is your Healthcare Security and Safety Week recognition tip of the day. Write a thank you card to somebody who has had a huge impact in your career, whether it be a past mentor or boss, a colleague. Maybe it's a current peer that you work with, somebody in your local association, even a staff member. When I ask audiences, as Canada's recognition expert, how do you most want to be appreciated? One of the top ways is that they say a written thank you. And then I follow that up with, so what do you do with those thank yous? Do you just recycle them when you've finished reading it? Let me ask you that, listener. What do you do? I'm willing to bet it's similar to what my audiences tell me, which is they bring it home and they show their family, or they put it on their desk at work, maybe even carry it around with you. Almost everybody keeps it in a box or a filing cabinet somewhere. The great thing is that there's a benefit in the moment when somebody receives that written note of recognition. And there's a long-term benefit too, because most people hold on to their thank yous. So that's my challenge to you today. Write a thank you card to somebody who has made a big difference to you, either on the short term and maybe even on your longer term career.
Thanks for sharing that, Sarah. If you want to hear more from Sarah about recognition, be sure to tune into episodes 24 and 39 of the Healthcare Security Cast, or visit her website, greatnessmagnified.com. And now we'll jump right into today's recognition. Enjoy.
Hi, this is Scott Levy, Senior Manager of Global Security at Mayo Clinic, Arizona. As we recognize International Association for Healthcare Security and Safety's Healthcare Security and Safety Week, really want to take a moment to recognize our team here in Arizona and throughout Mayo Clinic, and really all healthcare security officers who every day put their safety and well-being really second to the patients, staff, and visitors that we serve each and every day. Our role as healthcare security professionals is challenging on any given basis. We don't know what's coming in the door. We're open 24 hours a day. We're facing unique challenges from COVID-19 in this environment. We're building access management has become a challenge. Visitor restrictions are becoming more and more the norm, and still wanting to put the needs of the patient first. And so here at Mayo Clinic, as well as throughout every hospital, we are putting the needs of the patient first. And our team here at Mayo Clinic, Arizona has really stepped up. We have not had, fortunately, any significant incidents or major incidents of violence, relative to COVID-19. As overnight, we had to step up and create COVID-19 drive-through lanes, restricted access, no visitors, all the various components that went into that scenario. We're fortunate that our team has remained healthy, that we have had very minimal direct incidents from the pandemic, but we've been serving hundreds and hundreds of COVID positive patients and staff members across our enterprise, and have done so maintaining safety, putting our PPE on, making sure that our protocols and policies are followed, explaining again our visitation policies and expectations and ever-changing dynamic fluid situations. And so I think that is really, to me, the key here, as all of us take a moment to reflect, to recognize our healthcare security professionals during this week, as we do and should at all times, of course, but during this week of Healthcare Security and Safety Week, let me join in the chorus of saying thank you. This is often a job that doesn't come with a lot of recognition, perhaps not the highest pay. I certainly want to see that always higher across the industry. But the benefits and the rewards that we see is from serving our patients and visitors and staff each and every day. I've believed that to be true from my first day in the industry to today and beyond. I know that our team of security professionals at Mayo Clinic, Arizona, to a person, believes that to their core. And so from all of us here at Mayo Clinic, Arizona, to you and everyone around the world, wish you and your teams a very happy and celebratory Healthcare Security and Safety Week.
Hi, I'm Anjanette Hebert. I'm the Vice President of Healthcare with PalAmerican Security. I have the look of being a work-at-home employee even before COVID-19. So I reside in South Louisiana, and that's where I work every day. Today, I wanted to take a little bit of time to talk directly to the healthcare security workers that are out there. We know this has been a really difficult time for our healthcare security staff. Every day going to work in a hospital is a challenge already. And we've added so many new challenges with COVID-19 and put those directly on our security officers. We now screen for viruses instead of weapons. We now tell visitors not to come in instead of being encouraging of visitors and monitoring their behavior. These are all things that are very different from what we've experienced all of our careers. So we applaud you for being flexible, for being diligent, for showing up every day in what must be, to some people, one of the most difficult and one of the scariest environments to be in the midst of a global pandemic. So from me to you, to all of the healthcare security workers out there within PalAmerican or anywhere else, I personally thank you for being there every day and helping to create that safe environment where our healthcare workers, doctors and nurses can take care of our family members, our friends, and the members of our community. Thank you to the heroes in healthcare.
Hello, everyone. My name is Daniel Hunnisett, Access Control Analyst here at Altru Health System in Grand Forks, North Dakota. And I also have the pleasure of serving as the chair of the Upper Midwest chapter of IAHSS. I want to wish everybody involved in healthcare security, safety, and emergency management a happy Healthcare Security and Safety Week. Thank you for all of your tireless work and dedication to the patients, visitors, and other staff members that we serve every day. This year has been full of ups and downs, with each of us needing to adapt to the challenging situations rapidly in order to keep ourselves, our teams, and the people that we serve safe. This year's Healthcare Security and Safety Week recognizes each and every one of you as healthcare heroes with an emphasis on the strong commitment and care that you each exhibit while carrying out your day-to-day activities. I can tell you that I appreciate all the work being done, not only here in the United States, but around the world, to improve the healthcare, security, safety, and emergency management professions. Now I want to specifically thank all of the security officers here at Altru Health System. As others, we've been dealt an incredibly challenging hand during this past year, but because of each and every one of you that have stepped up to the plate and contributed so immensely to this team, we have just grown stronger and become better because of your incredible work. Thank you for everything you have done and continue to do. I appreciate you all, and I am so proud to be part of such an amazing team. Thanks again.
I am Dan Yaross. I'm Director of Protective Services at Nationwide Children's Hospital here in Columbus, Ohio. And I welcome the opportunity to highlight one of the examples of officers taking quick, decisive action. It happened almost a year ago now. It was November of 2019. Our officer got a call that's in one of our outpatient buildings, and that houses a couple of outpatient behavioral health clinics. Got an alert from a clinician saying that we don't have our patient left, and the patient just called the mother who's sitting out here in the waiting area, saying she's up on the adjacent garage on the top deck and climbed up on the wall and is ready to jump. Our officer quickly responded. He radioed in what was going on to the rest of the main campus, and he quickly made it up through the garage up to the top deck, which is the 6th floor, and sure enough saw the patient on the southeast corner standing on top of the wall, which is about 3.5 feet above the concrete of the parking pad. And he moved over there, approached softly, quietly, but was talking to her, de-escalating her as he was approaching and getting closer and closer, and kept de-escalating and talking her out of jumping, and reached out and took her hand and grabbed her and brought her down safely onto the parking pad, and then brought her downstairs to the lower level of the garage, the 1st floor. And that's when our other responding officers showed up and returned the scene to a safe and secure one and got her over into the emergency department. So that was just a highlight of he's a long-term employee of the hospital, and actually we inherited him many years ago when he came from the environmental services department, and he's been serving as an excellent protective services officer ever since. I also like to just kind of recognize our department. Our department has pretty much almost doubled in size over the last 8 years, trying to keep up with the hospital growth, actually. And we're proud that we are a second time recognized IAHSS Distinguished Department recognized or recognition. And we are serious about maintaining highly qualified officers, and we believe in a lot of training. So we start with the IAHSS series of training and augment that with a lot of different protective services specific training for Nationwide Children's Hospital. So thank you, Brian, for allowing me to talk a little bit about one of our many officers and about the department overall.
Hi, my name is Dave Gadoury. I'm the Security and Emergency Preparedness Manager for the Chatham-Kent Health Alliance. Our hospital is located in Chatham, Ontario, with a satellite site in Wallaceburg, Ontario. I have approximately 20 employees in my security staff, and as of July of 2019, we transitioned to an in-house model. Having achieved the IAHSS Program of Distinction, we were not able to retain staff with our desired skill set. So we transitioned to an in-house model. Today, I'm just reapplying for our Program of Distinction accreditation again. With that transition, we felt the need to look at a different reporting software. And having reviewed many different options that are out there, we chose to go with the Omnigo software report exec and dispatch software, and finding this to be an excellent asset to our program. We've also just completed installing an RTLS system throughout our both sites, both campuses. And we're launching our staff duress module this month, and we plan on being completed sometime in 2021 with just our duress badge. Chad Cameron is my supervisor, and he's been an excellent asset to our team. We've had quite a learning experience with the transition. A lot of unknowns were kind of met, faced on, and Chad was up for the challenge, and I think he deserves some recognition for that. My team has spent this past year studying for their IAHSS certification, and I give them all credit for taking the time and completing their certification, as this is an asset to our organization, not just our department, and I give them kudos for that. There's been many challenges with COVID, and a lot of my staff have suffered personal challenges in terms of large gatherings that cannot happen due to the restrictions, and weddings that have been put on hold, that sort of thing, loved ones passing during the pandemic. So there's been a lot of heartfelt stories that have been shared with myself and carried with the team. So I just wanted to recognize that with all my staff. But I thank you, Brian, for the opportunity.
Hi, I'm Robert Gibson with the University of Kansas Medical Center Public Safety Department. I'm the captain over our Security Operations Division. We are located in Kansas City, Kansas, right on the border of Kansas City, Missouri. We are a department of 105 security officers and 65 sworn police officers. I'd like to give kudos to my security operations team for their dedication for the Healthcare Security Week. Our department is of the IAHSS Program of Distinction, and we hold that near and dear to our hearts. So this week is for you and your healthcare security team. So thank you for all you do, and keep up the good work.
And this will conclude our recognition for today. Before we wrap up the show, however, we'll be joined again by Chris Littlefield, who will share the second of his 7 tips to create a culture of appreciation. And I'll turn it over to Chris.
Hi, I'm Chris Littlefield from Beyond Thank You, and here are 7 tips for nurturing a culture of appreciation. Tip number 2, thank their families. We often forget that, especially now during the current crisis, we forget that people have families at homes that they're supporting. And working in a hospital in the healthcare setting, they're risking their health and the health of their families every time they go to the work and every time they go home. So today, do something. Send a card home to one of your employees' family members. If you have their address, surprise them or something. Send flowers to their spouse or their loved one. Send dinner home one day, but do something to thank their families for supporting them to be able to do the work that they're doing for you every day.
Thank you for sharing, Chris. To hear more from Chris, be sure to check out his website, beyondthankyou.com. That's beyondthankyou, all one word, .com. Thank you again for joining us of Day 2 of Recognition for Healthcare Security and Safety Week. Be sure to tune into the IAHSS Healthcare Heroes webinar on Wednesday, October the 14th. For anyone interested in recognizing their team on the Healthcare Security Cast, send me a text at 647-372-2042. That's 647-372-2042, and we'll get you on the podcast. Have a great Healthcare Security and Safety Week, and until next time, stay safe and take care.